Dylan, I'm here to stay sober.
My name is Jeremy. I choose to be here because Racing for Recovery is part of my identity, and I enjoy reading this literature.
I'm Scott. I'm here for balance and motivation. I'm Nick. I'm here to learn, remain teachable, and keep learning about patience and knowledge.
I'm Michael. I'm here to change my life.
I'm Larry. I'm here because it's Monday and it's a good day to start the weekend. I love these evening meetings.
I'm Jess. I'm here to learn.
Aaron, I'm gonna get my shit together.
I'm Roger. I'm here to continue to grow and learn.
I'm Dave. I'm here to start the week and listen and learn.
I'm here to stay sober.
I'm Heidi. I'm here to change my life.
I'm here for the positivity and to make Andre laugh.
Who are you?
That's Frank.
Oh, no one heard you.
Forgot that part.
My name's Dan.
Oh, I see you.
I'm here because this place works my life.
I'm Emily. I'm here because my friends are here and because this works for me.
Bobby Joe. I'm here to listen and learn.
Hold on. I'm here because this is part of my routine.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah, and I'm here because I care about myself a lot, and I'm also here to support Heidi and to support Larry.
My name's Chandler, and I'm here because I got a good thing going, and this is where I need to be.
My name's Carl. Here to heal.
I'm Tony.
Go ahead.
My name's Deanna, and I'm here because this book kind of changed my ideals on a lot of aspects of recovery and some of the things that I was focusing on. So I'm here to study this.
I'm Sean, because I'm here because this is my daily medicine and to remind myself I don't know shit.
I'm Tim. I'm here because this program works for me.
I'm Tony. I'm here for growth.
I'm Tony. I'm here for support and to continue to grow.
Brian, I'm here to learn. I'm Jeff. I'm here for hope and inspiration.
Kyle I'm Kyle, and I'm here because this is where I like to be on Mondays.
I'm Sarah. I'm here because there's a lot of great stuff in this book. And I'm here to support Justin because a little bird told me that it's his 1 year and his birthday. Right there.
For 1 year.
Right. 1 year old, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm David. I'm here because I need to be.
Hello, I'm Tim. I'm here to continue learning.
Gina, I'm here for support.
I'm Andy, and I had the opportunity to be here tonight. And I'm here because for balance and to stay focused, and that's where I need to be right
Jason, I'm here because they let me. And with that, I've been able to heal.
My name is Josh, and I'm here to stay sober.
I'm Tyler. I'm here to better myself.
I'm Samantha. I'm here to keep learning.
I'm John. I'm here to educate myself, help in any way I can, for support and to help support someone else with me.
I'm Heather, and I'm here to continue making better choices.
I'm Josh. I'm here to keep moving forward.
I'm Adam. Here to learn more about this book I read.
I'm Chris. I come for positivity and to see all my friends.
I'm Tara, and I'm here to stay balanced.
I'm Brittany, and I'm here to keep on the right track and hang out with my friends.
I'm Candace, and I'm here because I want to start off the week great and to stay balanced.
I'm Mike, and I'm here to learn.
I'm Jeff, and I'm here because I believe in this lifestyle, and the wisdom I gained from this book is instrumental in my recovery.
Bobby, I'm here to learn something new tonight.
I'm Rachel. I'm here to remain sober and stay positive.
AJ, go.
Well, I'm AJ. I'm here to find and better myself and maintain my positivity.
I'm John. I'm here to learn, heal, and grow.
I'm Randall. I'm here to remain teachable and keep growing and just to be happy.
I'm Desiree, and I'm here to learn balance.
Megan, I'm here.
I'm Nick, and I am here to learn.
I'm Tiffany, and I'm here to learn and grow.
I'm Brittany, and I'm here to mentally prepare myself to go back to work tomorrow after a 3-week medical leave.
I'm Mike. I'm here because these meetings really help me grow as a better person.
I'm Steve. I come here to stay on the right track.
Grant, I'm here to stay sober and learn and grow.
I'm Angie, and I called a couple weeks ago and told him what a hot mess I was and asked him what I needed to do. And he told me what to do, which was to come to groups and come to meetings, and I'm trusting in that because I wasn't doing too good of a job living my life on my own, so just doing what I'm told. Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I am here to continue working on me.
I'm Steven, and I'm here because I don't want to drink today.
My name's Dustin. I'm here to support Chrissy, and she's got 1 month until she's a full year sober. So.
I'm Cheryl, and I'm here for the support and positivity.
I'm Meredith, I'm here to work on my recovery.
I'm Sarah, I'm here to stay sober.
My name's Joe. I'm here to remain teachable, and this is part of my routine. And after a, like Dustin said, great holiday weekend, figure I just want to keep that good vibe train going.
I'm Steven. It was a long weekend, and I had a lot of fun, but it's glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. It's great. I don't know. I have been feeling all sorts of emotions lately, and I don't know if it's this time of year or if it's just something in the air, but things have been going really well, and I've been vibing lately, so let's keep it going. Who's got the answer about Dom's e-car?
You know the answer. Answer by now. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain, as I approach the light of hope that lies before me. Each step overwhelms me. Every breath sears my throat. I ache. My body rebels against me. My memories torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand. They don't care who I am. I'm a human being, full of thoughts and feelings. I'm worth saving. Just show me the way. At last, I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer. Open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust. And so it begins, racing for recovery.
Thanks, Frank. All right, announcements. Tara, you have something?
The summer volleyball schedule and teams are posted out in the hallway. So if you signed up, just take a look at it, take pictures so you can make sure you know what time you play at.
Cool, thank you. Any other announcements?
Just that the van's not gonna be available tomorrow for the volleyball, so if you're playing, you just gotta try to figure out how to get down.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
To my knowledge, Jeff helped me out with this. Wednesday, we're gonna resume swimming. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think last week, I don't know, some kind of mix up, kind of shut down. Anybody interested, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 a.m., lobby of the hotel. Expect to see everybody.
Nice. Also, there's a race coming up and it's getting closer, guys. It's almost October, right? I'm excited, can't you tell? Stay tuned. Other than that, is it your birthday here 1 year, Dustin?
Right here.
Yeah.
Because we were confused earlier, and we thought you was a week late, so happy birthday and happy 1 year. So thank you. Let's do that again. There's a lot of confusion, so I just wanted to clear that up. All right, As you can see from the introductions, our meetings for everyone affected by self-destructive behaviors. No topic is off limits. If you have a question or something you'd like to discuss, we encourage you to bring it up early so we have time to discuss it. With that being said, does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about before we get started in the book? Anything good? Anything bad? Anything anywhere in between? No? All right. We are on page 30. What did I do without you? Whoever said that. Rule number 5. Who'd like to read? Or are we at rule number 4?
Thought it was 4.
Can we read 4? Oh, you're right, we are at 4.
I think we're at 4. Rule number 4. Sorry for the confusion, guys. It's all right. You did great.
Rule number 4, be patient. I'm at a point in my life where I don't need to say anything to anyone. What I do speaks volumes. I'm either doing it or I've done it. When I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to be the guy who says, I wish I'd done this and that. I'm going to be the guy who says, that was a blast and I did the right thing. I wish I could do it all again. It's not the things we do that we regret the most, it's the things we don't do. When you get sober, start using the people in your life as inspirations to get to a better life. That's when life starts being worth living. We have to be patient because trust sometimes takes a while to come back. What do I mean? Well, my house was in foreclosure 3 times while I was using. I was at a golf outing and my wife called, saying they were going to turn out our lights off. My dad used to call me Mr. Gunna, as in I'm going to get sober, go back to school, etc. Well, your friends and family don't want to hear about what you're going to do. Odds are, you made a lot of promises that you didn't keep when you were using. Just do it. Actions speak 1,000 times louder than words. I constantly hear family members say, I don't trust my husband's son. I want to see action. Trust is the first thing to die, and it's the hardest to revive. It took my stepmother 12 years to give me another chance. This is a woman I beat to a pulp back when I was using. I expected that because I wrote her a letter and asked forgiveness that she would welcome me with open arms. Not so fast. Our loved ones will forgive us when they are ready, not when we're ready. My dad came back after a year. My grandma never left. My stepmom was raised by an abusive father, so she was more unforgiving and suspicious. I don't blame her for it. My dad lost his wife to addiction, and I think he was grateful that his son got his act together in time. But words wouldn't have convinced them of anything. I had to take action and wait for them to decide the time was right. Be patient and show people that you mean business with what you do and how you live. Talk is cheap. Your growth will convince them and keep them by your side. When you realize that you caused the rift and understand that you have to suck it up and wait, that's a milestone that you're getting better.
All right, guys, there's a ton of good stuff in here. Who relates to what was just read? Sarah? Sarah? Sorry.
Perfect. So probably the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks I was in here, I kind of went through that learning curve, and it was pretty harsh, and had a one-on-one with Todd. Talked to me, gave me some tools to utilize that I still to this day utilize. Actually, just utilized one of them this past weekend when it talks about different people forgive at different rates depending. And I firmly believe that for me, it was how much damage I had done, and then also the individual. So like my boyfriend, for instance, is more, he'll forgive, but then he's really, sometimes if I start to repeat a certain behavior, even though I'm not using, but the behavior attached to the using is there, and he notices that right away, he gets upset and will start to bring up things from the past when I was using and I was displaying that behavior, and we get really angry about it. And so one thing that I've learned is that, and I kind of went to Todd about it, I said, part of me is just like, why do we have to keep rehashing the same thing? And Todd said, well, if the behavior is present, you know, I changed the using part, but I haven't so much just changed the behavior part, which I think I brought that up a few meetings ago, just about how to get better at like changing behaviors for good, and consistency obviously is key for me. But one thing that Todd mentioned to me is like, if you notice a person in your life, Sarah, I'm talking me, not you guys, by the way. He told me that if I notice that there's a person in my life that is consistently bringing up something that we've already discussed, and this works like a stick chat, John, by the way. He said, tell them, and I did this with Chad, I said, if it will help you, and I genuinely mean it, it was not to be like patronizing or anything, but I said, if it will help you to heal further through, you know, my recovery, because that's, you know, like my whole family has to go through it. He has to go through this recovery thing too. But if it will help you to heal by us discussing this again further, then I'm totally down for it. And that one line has helped me so much, not have to continually talk about the same thing, but also helps me to realize I've just displayed a behavior pattern that he doesn't know that he did, but he brought up to my attention that I really need to pay attention to. In the same aspect.
Thanks, Sarah. Follow-up.
Patience, I'm having a little bit of trouble. Tomorrow will be my 90 days clean. I don't know if it's, you know, everything that I'm kind of dealing with in my life, certain things are coming up. I'm starting to feel complacent, and I don't want that. I'm not sure what to do, and it's scary. The more I think about it, the more it pisses me off. Patience. I'm trying. I really am. It's just hard. Very hard.
John.
Yeah, I really struggle with patience too. The line that stuck out to me for Rule 4 was, trust is the first thing to die and it's the hardest to revive. Trying to rebuild relationship with my family, regain trust. Like, I will seriously question, like, I've been causing all this damage for 15 years and really wonder, like, why I haven't gotten trust back in a month. Like, I have to check myself and be like, dude, get real. Like, I need to give them time and let them heal and let them process this at their own pace. Like, it's nothing to do with me. Like, I'm learning that I have to be patient and continue doing the right thing and doing my best to be a good person, but actions do speak louder than words. Like, I can tell them till I'm blue in the face that I want to get clean, I want to do this, but it doesn't mean anything if I'm not applying it. And slowly but surely, things are starting to fall, into place. But I mean, I definitely struggle with that. Maybe my addiction, like everything was now. Like, now I kind of have to just chill and just realize that everything is not going to come back to me in one day. And I'm okay with that. I accept it, and I continue moving forward.
So, thanks, John. Sean.
Patience is something I'm working on daily. I think I'm getting a little better at it. I don't think I'll ever conquer it. But I know for me, with my most of my family's deceased, so all the damage that I did to them, I had to write letters, you know, go to grave sites when I could, and my son, who's 17, who I got to see Saturday, I think that's the first time in the last year that, since I've seen him, and I've talked to him regular basis before I got incarcerated, we had this bond built back, you know. We never really had a bad bond, but I know for me, I started learning once I got sober this time, I started learning that I don't tell people I'm sorry anymore. And I don't even tell her I'm sorry anymore. I'll ask for forgiveness. Or how can I make it up to you? Because sorry for me is when I tell you I'm sorry, ask for it, say I'm sorry to you, I'm trying to get justification for you to make me feel better, you know? That's how I look at it. So I stopped doing that. Patience for me also is to try to get out of my own way, you know, just let things happen. It's not easy to do that. It's something I struggle with, but I'm getting better because I'm not in control of anything. And then I gotta watch too, like not trying to give somebody advice. I'm trying to catch myself at doing that. If I'm talking to somebody, I just share my experience, what I've been through, especially like my son. Like I'll give you a quick example. My son's a great kid, you know, straight A's, getting ready, pays his own car insurance, everything, getting ready to graduate next year and going in the Marines, and so I'm proud of him. He got in trouble at school, he was telling me about today, and or a while back he got in trouble at school, and some kids were throwing food in the lunchroom, you know, and one of the teachers got on him and told him, you know, that he was throwing it, but he wasn't throwing it, and he was yelling at the principal saying, hey, you can look at camera, you know, and see if I'm on there. Well, he's talking to me about it, and then I'm sitting there trying to, you know, here I am telling him, well, where was you at fault in that? Well, I didn't do shit, you know, I didn't do nothing. I tried to show him the camera. Well, where you were at fault, you should have got up and walked away from them kids. You know, here I am trying to tell him that, and I'm sitting there thinking, fuck, I wouldn't have done that, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to give him advice on shit. I would have done the opposite. I probably would have threw the shit. So I gotta watch that today, you know? And I told my son, you know, Saturday, I said, man, you've been teaching me all these years, not me teaching you, you know? And that took a lot to say that to him, you know? But yeah, I have to be really careful with that, because patience for me also is just really slowing down, trying to just stay out of my way, stay out of other people's shit, okay? I'm not gonna worry about somebody else's shit. I talk with her about that a lot. I can't, what other people's doing is their issue. You know, I can't worry about that or talk behind their back or do anything, because it's not my issue. It's not my let them do what they're gonna do. I'm gonna just focus on doing what I'm doing. You know, it says in here too, you know, in the book where it says start, you know, using the people in your life as inspirations to get a better life. I've always been told to hang around the winners, right? Well, not all the winners I hung around were all winners, but, you know, I remember when I was using, I was always trying to tell people how to do shit, you know what I mean? And then, you know, follow me, you know, follow the leader here, and then, you know, next thing you know, they might catch something hot, you know, following my ass, or who knows, I mean, I'd get them in trouble, something, so I just try to focus on my recovery. I try to be as helpful as I can to others, and in a watching, and you know, just being careful in that, but just using my experience and things like that. But my family that's gone, like with my son, I can't, or if I hurt somebody's feelings or do something, or if I was wrong, I immediately got to make an amend with them, you know, and where my part was in that. I'm not going to sit there and continue to play the sorry role, because people don't want to hear that shit. I've been doing that my whole life. And trust, for me, when I stay out of my own shit and do the right thing, eventually these people come back. They will come back. And they'll say, damn, you're doing the right thing, proud of you. And then, so I get texts every day, and people will say, hey, have a great day, and I'll say, I'll text back, I'll try not to fuck it up, you know? So I do that every day, you know? And it just keeps me humble by doing that. It's a joke, but I do that, because, you know, I'll try not to fuck it up. But that's, for me, that's being patient, you know, so.
Thanks, Sean. What Paula was talking about, I heavily relate to, is the complacency thing, and you said you're coming up to 90 days, which is awesome, but I feel, I relate so heavy to that, because every time there's a big, like a numerical milestone, as you can say, I've always started to overthink everything. It happened every single time. It happened on my 4-year, my 3-year, happened on my, everyone that I thought was a big deal, it was supposed to be huge, I always start freaking out. And it happened, like, it's like clockwork. And I like how you said that you recognize you're complacent. That's half the battle, because that's awareness right there. And when you are aware of complacency, that's like the breeding ground for like greatness, I feel like. Because you realize you don't like where you're at right now, probably. Like, I've been there. I was like, all right, I'm complacent. I don't think I'm going anywhere. I talked to Todd about it. He's like, hey, what have you done today? I was like, I don't know. I've laid around, ate some chips. He's like, you've stayed sober today. You're making progress. Now go and kick some ass. So I relate to that, because every time I thought I wasn't going anywhere, I was. I may have not just noticed it. So that's what I got for you on that aspect, because I've been there, and it's a real feeling. And it always happened right when a big thing was about to happen, because I got nervous about it. And I like how Sean was saying the thing about I don't want to say sorry anymore. I want to see how I can make it up to them. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Because I catch myself saying sorry to certain people in my life when I'm being an asshole about it, and I want to feel better about my own actions. And if I take away the I'm sorry and say, how can I make that up to you, or what can I do to make this better, it takes away me being an asshole and actually helps the situation rather than dragging it out. So you taught me something, so thank you. Brittany.
This is actually a really good topic, and what Sarah and Sean were saying, like, weighed pretty heavy. I actually had some stuff happen this weekend to where, you know, I was completely torn to shreds by somebody I hurt. And it was brutal. I mean, and it got me in this downward spiral real quick, and I had to kind of, you know, I talked to Betty about it probably till 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was just in that headspace where I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I had, for the first time in a very long time, you know, I had suicidal thoughts pop into my head because it was that brutal. I had to realize there was something that I told people about the apologies. It was something that, you know, it was something that he was doing that was repeatedly, and he would apologize for it, and I kind of had to swallow it myself, like this weekend. Like, you know, I would tell him, your apologies hold no weight if the action behind it does not change, or the action before that doesn't change. And I had to swallow that, because, you know, I would apologize and apologize and apologize, and it didn't mean shit, because I wasn't doing anything to change why I was apologizing in the first place. You know, it was always that, you know, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, or, you know, it's easier to apologize after you just let, you know, whatever come out. But now I'm realizing, you know, even though I'm putting it into action, a lot of the things that I'm learning, and I'm changing the actions, and I'm not having to apologize as often, or not apologizing at all, but, you know, what can I do to show you? What can I do to further that I'm putting this into action? You know, some people don't want anything to do with that yet, and I have to accept that. That was my doing. But there are people who I never thought that even within the 6-month time frame would I would be able to get to that point. But, you know, 6 months of consistent putting things into action and absorbing and learning the things that I've been learning here I have people coming back into my life. I have invitations to family functions because I'm not gonna act like an asshole. I'm not gonna end up causing a fight. I'm not the one they're worried about anymore. So I'm slowly building that trust, but it's 6 months is a short time frame. But I'm going to end up continuing to show them for the next 6 months after that, and the 6 months after that. But they're seeing that my behaviors are changing. And I'm more accepting to the fact that it's not going to happen overnight. And like Sarah was saying, when you do get into a position, you start having that confrontation with somebody, or there's something that you're doing that I've created trauma in somebody else's life. That's going to keep coming up. So rehashing it is something that they have to do as much as I have to do to realize that the trauma that I caused in somebody else's life and having to go over that stuff again, I'm helping them heal by being able to be accepting to hearing that and to be humble about it. So I'm grateful that this is a topic because I had to swallow that big old pill this weekend, so that's all I got.
Thanks, Brittany. Megan.
So, I like what Sarah said about the behaviors, because a lot of my behaviors are learned behaviors from my addiction. I learned how to manipulate, I learned how to lie really, really well. I learned how to do a lot of things that carried over into my sobriety because I wasn't healing certain things, because I wasn't ready to heal certain things. So now that I'm dealing with stuff that I need to heal and stuff that I need to deal with, I'm growing from that and learning how not to have those behaviors anymore. And I catch myself doing certain things and I'm like, hang on a second, that's manipulation at its finest. I need to stop doing that. And when it comes to the action behind losing the trust and stuff like that, that comes with a lot of time. And when I say that, I mean in my time too, because certain times people think that because you have so much time sober, you should be doing XYZ with your time of sobriety. And if I would have done those things in those time frames, I would have been rushing myself rather than letting it happen as it needed to, as it was as I was healing myself and dealing with stuff, I guess I allowed myself that time to deal with those things rather than rushing things based on somebody else's timeline behind action. Because if I would have done that, I feel like I wouldn't have gotten this far in my sobriety. If I would have listened to other people and done what people who aren't in recovery told me to do. So when it comes to rebuilding things with my family and showing them what I'm doing and stuff like that, the only thing I can do is just stay sober, and everything else is just kind of fall into place.
Nice, Ryan, that's awesome. I know there's a reason that this book's called There's More Than One Way to Get to Cleveland, and I think we all have our own timelines. I know that there's stuff that people with a lot less time than me have conquered that I still have to work on. That people with a lot more time than me that haven't done the things that I have, and it's not really about the time. How's that go, Dustin?
Right.
It's not about the days, it's about
don't count the days, make the days count.
Yes, it's about what you do with the days. It's not how many days you have. And I think that's what a big part of this program is, and that just reminds me of that, so thank you. Bobby.
Yeah, so patience has always been a downfall of mine. And when I first attempted to get sober, I'd get a month or two and it'd be arguing with my family, I got 2 months and you're not gonna forgive me for the shit I did over the past 10 years. But and then I'd have no patience with my recovery. I'd want to get right back to work and stop going to meetings, and I just felt like I had it, and I never had it. I still don't. and I hope I never do. And, you know, my family didn't have patience with me either on the other end of the spectrum. So like my family as a whole, like we, you know, well, you need to forgive me. Well, you need to get back to work because we can't keep supporting Eliana, you know. And what really helped this time is, you know, moving out of my parents' house into lodging, and them accepting that. And, you know, as a whole, we definitely have grown. You know, my dad's kind of more silent. You know, he's more reserved with the whole thing. You know, he'll talk, you know, he'll give like a couple sentences about it, like, I'm proud of you, you're doing good, keep doing what you're doing, you know. And that means a lot, you know, that's a lot coming from him. And then my mom is obviously outspoken, you know, crying and sending text messages at 2 in the morning. And so, like, my patience now is being tested because, like, I'm ready, like, not ready, I shouldn't say I'm ready, but I suggested to my mom, like, hey, you know, when I get 6 months, you think I can maybe move back home? And that's just because I want to be with Eliana. You know, that's the only reason that I would go home, is to live with Eliana again. But now, you know, my mom says, no, that'll do no good. You know, there's no good that will come from that. Stay where you're at, you're doing great. And, you know, now they're so patient with me and taking care of Eliana while I'm taking care of myself that there really is no rush. And, you know, like I'll do little odds and ends, you know, jobs, make some money and help out with what I can, but, you know, they're just so good with it. Like the patience is, you know, it's not perfect and it never will be perfect, I'm sure. But I think we're really getting to a good place.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things said about this stuff though tonight. I agree with Shawner about, you know, sorry's lost its worth, in my book at least, I feel. What Brittany said about the inflicting trauma upon other people, like that's actually tied into what Bobby just said about patience for me. When I went down to see my daughter, everything was going so well. Like it couldn't have gone any better for me. And you know, we started making plans for her birthday and this and that, and like I really want to expedite the process to just have out-of-state custody and everything else, you know. And the ex-wife, she wants to be like, well, let's see how this goes as well and stuff like that, you know. And I mean, I'm working with her on that, you know, and I kind of kept my mouth shut because I know that's what I need to do. Inflicted trauma upon her with what she's seen, you know, the day we ended with that fight and stuff. So hard for her to trust me. I get that. So on this patient subject, you know, I just kind of had to swallow my feelings, you know, whatever they were, good, bad, you know. I agree with her. I get what I see from her perspective these days, you know. So in this time, you know, I think I don't want to get complacent, you know, like Paul is acknowledging that. I don't want to get complacent and just focus and get tunnel vision on this one thing or whatever and end up with complacency. So I've been thinking, like, what can I do between now and then? I mean, I don't see, like, the self-betterment thing, I don't see an end, ever, you know? Every day, there's always something new you can do, try, whatever, to either find yourself or find more of yourself. So, while I'm biding my time for all this, I mean, I'm gonna keep doing me, you know? That's what I'm gonna do with my patients, is do what I can day by day to figure out what can I do today to make me a better AJ, you know? To be the AJ I wanna be. Stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, everybody pretty much covered all the other things I was going to say, so I'll leave it at that.
Good stuff. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah.
Dan?
So, funny we were going over this, because I just read this last night. There's a lot of really good stuff in here that kind of like rocked me to the core. You know, like for me, my dad and his wife, there was like there was like 3 separate times. Sometimes I think words are like poison spewing out of the mouth, you know. They can be so hurtful. And I don't know, you know, the first time I didn't talk to my dad after because of the drug use, which I was using with him, and then it got worse, spiraled out of control through me. I said some hateful things, did some stuff, and it took 10 years to get that grace back, you know. And I think and then, you know, I was in rehab, thought I had everything, and I didn't. You know, going back out and saying some more hateful things and doing things through my actions, and then I did it once again, you know, recently, and so like, you know, where is it? Well, the topic is be patient, but I think it's being patient is one, but I think it goes along with trust, you know. Yeah, you know, where it says I expected that because I wrote a letter to her and asked for forgiveness, she would, you know, have open arms. And really, when it says not so fast, it wasn't so fast, you know. It took a long time for them, and they're still, you know, uneasy and stuff because of the words of the actions that I did through my actions. Took them a long time. My dad came around, but she was really hurt, you know. So, I don't know. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Dan. I know I can't take back any of the things that I've ever said or done to anyone else. They're done. They're in the past. It's something I can't ever redo. And the only thing I can do is make it better from here. And I know that for a fact. The more I'm nice to myself and help myself heal, the more I can help and heal the stuff I've done to people around me. And I've learned that only through trying to get forgiven within a month. Trying to say, hey, I'm 3 weeks sober, why don't I get this? I'm 1 year sober, why don't I have this? I'm whatever. It takes time, and sometimes everyone's timeline is different. Just like there's more than one way to get clean, there's more than one way to heal and grieve and make amends to people. Everyone has different timelines, and that's what's hard about this. It's tricky to figure out. One person might take you back, but the other person will hold a grudge still, and you just have to tough it out, because I know for me, I did some nasty shit to people, and some people will never forgive me, and that's okay. But I know as long as I'm treating myself well, then it'll be okay for me. It just takes time. Jason.
I have been impatiently waiting for patience. I say that because it's kind of funny to me. I've always been impatient about everything. Run. I was sitting here thinking about my own motives. I'm like, you know what, Jason, you better make sure that all this trust you're trying to rebuild, that you're not going to destroy it again. And track record shows that I build trust up, I break it down, I build trust up, I break it down. Something's got to change. You know, if something doesn't change, then I'm ultimately going to go back to using drugs. Every time. There's been a saying that's been in my head for the last 6 months. Nothing changes, nothing changes. And I don't want to keep going down that path of self-hatred and try to manipulate and connive my way into what I think I want, because it's never what I want anyways. I think it's pretty cool that Bobby could have a conversation with his mom. that was what I seen was taking place, a conversation. It wasn't an ultimate answer, yes or no, whatever, but it was actually having a conversation. Because at one time, I know in my life, there wasn't a possibility of having a conversation with loved ones. And I was laughing what Sean said, I try not to fuck this up. I can relate to that. I have made my own bed by my actions, by my choices, by my selfishness. I have made all the hardships that, well, I shouldn't say that. I have caused a lot of my own hardships and a lot of my own pain through selfish actions. And like I said, I was just sitting here thinking, I better be on the right path. I better make sure that I'm doing shit for the right reasons, why I'm building trust up with my loved ones again, because I hate to hurt them again, you know? I'm not saying that's what I'm doing, you know, I'm just checking myself. Recovery's, it's not that easy. It can be real hard and it can be cunning. My brain can be cunning. I can trick myself into shit. You know, the 90 days thing and overthinking stuff, complacency. I really like what AJ said about self-betterment. There is no end in sight. Constantly I have to work on it, and constantly I want to work on it. The people that I have in my life make me want to be a better person. The people that I choose to have around in my circle make me want to be a better person. I've caused some hardships on other people's lives and trauma in other people's life. They'll never talk to me again. And I don't have a choice but to be okay with that. But I know I don't want to do it again because it hurts. It still stings when I think about that relationship and where it would be and what I've done. They didn't deserve my inconsiderateness towards whatever happened. But I don't have to make the same mistake again. And I heard a couple times people say, I thought I had this, I thought I had this. I can relate, even after so many years of being sober, I thought I was okay. You know, 9 years, 11 months, I didn't think I needed support. I didn't think I needed to be involved with a recovery program or recovery people. I was out there on my own, doing my thing, thinking I was okay, and then when the day came, I had no support. I didn't know how to handle what was in front of me. I was in a wheelchair for 10 months. I was on a lot of narcotics for the pain, and I didn't know how to deal with my depression. I didn't know how to deal with anything, and I was alone, and that was a bad place to be. So a year, 9 years, 20 years, I think when I thought I was good is when the ball started rolling downhill. So what a good meeting. Good meeting. It's got myself thinking, and when I'm thinking, that means there's some growing going on. Usually when I'm checking myself and I'm looking at my motives, there usually is something that I need to look at, you know, and that's a good place to be because that means I'm moving forward. So yeah, it's a good meeting. Thanks.
Dustin. I'd like kind of what Bobby said over there, and that gentleman just got done talking about a few things. Patience and also the trust in meetings and everything. I gave up drinking to help Chrissy out. I knew if I would continue have a drink periodically, it just wouldn't go anywhere with trying to help her out. So I got 1 year and she's coming up on a complete full year. She has ran patience down thin at times, and I guess I gained a lot of patience putting up with some of the stuff, learning, being on the other end and learning throughout this whole thing. And I like how Bobby said he thought he could get away from going to meetings and found out that even dropping down a meeting or two meetings here or there, these meetings I really do think help out a lot of people in here. And I think once somebody starts wanting to slip away from the meetings, not saying that there's a chance that they could, but there's always that thought in back of somebody else being on the other end, back in my mind or somebody else's mind, a loved one's mind, that, hey, why are they not wanting to go to meetings anymore? They start to slip.
But I am very proud of how far she has came. I mean, she went from basically us being together to split apart because of drugs and alcohol. And she has, I mean, completely changed it a whole 360, and it's just, I don't know, it's just been amazing what this place has done for both of us, and still learning with the patients. And I don't think if it wasn't for these meetings and coming religiously, that a lot of people would be as successful as they are through this whole journey.
Thanks, Dustin. Randall.
I just want to say just like a little bit on patience. I think it's more than just like friends and family for me. Patience is like an everyday thing, and it's in all aspects of our lives. Traffic, you know, I can't stand that. Secor's a freaking nightmare. Like, I don't know, it's just like, when I first came in these doors, like, I wanted so many things like back. I wanted to go back to school, you know, I wanted to, you know, have that, like, the amazing job. I wanted, you know, my family's trust back. I wanted my own place, you know, like, I wanted all these things, and this is like 3-4 months into, you know, recovery, you know, and I know if I would have had all those things, I would have been still like kind of empty inside. I'd still been unhappy. I'd still, they wouldn't meant as much, you know, because, you know, sometimes you have to go through bad times and shitty things to really appreciate the good that happens in your life, you know. You know, it says in this first paragraph is like, oh, I wish I would have done this or that, like saying that on your deathbed. And like that, I don't want to have to say that on my deathbed, like, oh, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I could have freaking went skydiving or whatever, you know. It's just, or go back to school. Like, I always hear my dad saying like, oh, I wish I would have been able to go back to school. I wish I would have had a job I like to do instead of being miserable every day at the job I'm doing right now. And I hear him say that, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I can't, I don't want to live that way. I'm not gonna be the one saying that. And, I don't know, it's like, in the moment, like, in this moment, it's like, I want it now, but I know that I'm on my way towards it, and it's just patience, man. I freaking hate it. I can't stand it. But, you know, even in my addiction, I had to be patient, you know? Freaking waiting on the drug dealer, you know? So many times waiting on me to get paid at the end of the day, you know? And I freaking couldn't stand it. It drove me crazy. And, you know, but you know, I don't know what to say after that, but, you know, it's a life, you know, you gotta be patient.
I think patience, a lot like sobriety, is one of those things that when you think you have it, life likes to throw you curveballs. Every time someone compliments me or someone says, oh, you're so patient or something, and I think I've got it, I turn onto Reynolds Road or Secor, and I'm like, gosh, darn it. But other times, it's just the stuff when things get pulled out from under your feet, like the rug and everything else, when you think you got it. I think that's what what we were just talking about. It has to do with patience and sobriety. And I think that's why people like to say, I'd rather be a teacher, student first, teacher second. And the whole thing about the deathbed thing, AJ always says, not you AJ, other AJ, more bearded AJ. Your beard's great, but his is other beard. Says, at the end of my life, I want to be sitting on my deathbed saying not that he regrets anything, but looking back at all the awesome shit he's done. And I think I want to be the same way. Just look at all the kick-ass things I've done, and the legacy I've built for my friends, family, and the children I might have by accident one day. So, with that being said,
autobiography of 5 short chapters. I walk down the street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost, I am hopeless. It isn't my fault, it takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there, I still fall in, it's a habit. My eyes are open, I know where I am, it is my fault, I get out immediately. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I walk around it. I walk down another street.
Thanks for coming, everyone.